am Cody and I'm about to present an acid-base reaction through this egg. So how will we do it? First, put the egg in the container. Then, add enough vinegar to cover the eggs. You'll notice that bubbles form on the eggs. Then, cover the container, put it in the refrigerator, and let it sit for 24 hours. This is an example of an egg soaked for 24 hours. When you're done, you'll have an egg without a shell. It looks like these. It looks like an egg, but it's translucent. So what's going on? When you submerge an egg in vinegar, the shell dissolves. Vinegar contains acetic acid, which breaks apart the solid calcium carbonate crystals that make up the eggshell into their calcium and carbonate parts. The calcium ions float free, while the carbonate goes to make carbon dioxide, which are the bubbles that you see. The reaction of the eggshell and the vinegar is an acid-base reaction. Calcium carbonate, a base, reacts with the acid in the vinegar to make carbon dioxide. And that's how you make a naked egg. Very cool, huh? Till next time!
Hi, I'm going to demonstrate and explain the bouncing raisins. So what I have here is water. I'm gonna mix it with baking soda. There. Then put in the vinegar. And finally, for the raisins. See? The raisins are going up and down. As you can see that, it's floating. The others are down there. See? It's up and down. There are a number of important science concepts that can be demonstrated with this eye-catching trick. For students studying chemistry, the gas-releasing interplay between the vinegar and baking soda is a perfect way to make the abstract concept of chemical reaction comes to life. In this case, the baking soda is mixed with the vinegar. Chemical bonds are broken and the atoms regroup themselves into carbon dioxide, water, and sodium acetate. The carbon dioxide forms the bubbles that cause the raisins to float. Another concept that can be pulled from this experiment is that of density. Raisins by themselves are denser than water, and so they sink. When the carbon dioxide bubbles attach themselves to the raisins, they add quite a bit of surface area but little density, and so the raisins with bubbles will float to the top. As they reach the top, the bubbles pop, and the raisins are once again dense enough to sink. The chemical reaction between the vinegar and the soda will eventually slow as all of the chemicals are combined. You can add more of one or the other to keep it going. It's like adding fuel to a fire when there are reactive chemicals available. The chemical reaction will resume. So that's a little explanation why raisins bounce with this mixture. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new. Bye!
Milk is the main ingredient of cheese. It is usually milk from cows, buffalo, sheep, or goat. It affects the style, texture, and flavor of the cheese. Cheese undergoes two procedures. First is curdling, where the milk is separated from solid curds and liquid whey. It is usually done by acidifying and heating. Next is the aging period, where the cheese is kept from the day it is made until several years. This is very important for blue cheese. When blue cheese is formed into a wheel, holes are poked through it with tiny skewers, and while aging, air gets into these holes and a special kind of mold called penicillium grows as the cheese ripens. Molds are kind of fungi. In Filipino, it is called amag. Blue cheese gets its flavor, color, and odor from the veins of blue-green mold in it. They say that the stinker the blue cheese is, the better it tastes.
Does your tongue feel irritated whenever you eat pineapple? Well, that's because pineapple has a proteolytic enzyme called bromelain. This kind of enzyme helps tenderize meat and also helps in breaking down foods. There's a rumor that people who pick pineapples often lose their fingerprints in a few years as the chemical eats away the skin, and tests has been conducted that a way to alleviate the irritation of the pineapple is to able to cut down its core.
Good day, viewers. I'm Richelle Espanol and I'm here to explain the fermentation of dough and the components of yeast that makes the dough rise. And to do the experiment, we need flour, oil, salt, especially the yeast, and water. Now let's start doing the experiment. Put the flour in the mixing bowl. Next, the oil, the salt. We need to add water on the yeast and add it to the mixtures. Going to put it in the mixing bowl and we're done. Here's our product. Now, we're going to put oil all over the dough and put it here. The mixing bowl has oil all over it. And now, we're going to put a plastic wrap. Put it in a warm place for 30 to 45 minutes. Bread made with yeast was wonderful, light, and tasty stuff. You know what the secret is? It's the Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Saccharomyces cerevisiae is a type of single-celled fungi that is also known as the baker's yeast. This kind of yeast multiply rapidly in warm sugary liquids, each cell producing new cells by growing buds which increase in size until each breaks off from the mother cell. Most yeast produce a substance called zymase which changes sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. This gas forms bubbles. That's why the dough rises.
Thank you very much for coming out this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind. Hold your applause. This is your song, not mine. Thank you. Please hold your applause.